Oh, it's our next caller. It's my buddy Josh. I always talk about Josh on the flagship podcast. This is Josh. He's called in for the show from before. Hello, Josh.
Hey, Bart, how's it going? I'm up in New Hampshire for the weekend, so calling in before we head back to the city tonight.
All right, so you got a hand here. What 2-5 at Encore Boston Harbor? Is that right?
Yeah, so I haven't been playing all that much cash this year. So this is the first session. I probably played there in a couple months. First session since I got back from the couple events I played in Vegas.
How deep are you?
1800 effective, and we're playing 2-5-10.
Okay, 2-5-10. This is, by the way, the game that I mostly play nowadays. I used to go up like Josh to New Hampshire and play like mix with, say, we'll have double board bomb pots, but they don't even play Hold'em in New Hampshire really at any type of level now. It's all PLO. So, and the game is often 2-5-10, so it's 1800 effective. It is a 1K cap game, so 2-5-10, 1800. Okay.
And a fish who just sat down at the table probably within the last half hour. He's been limping every hand. He's short. He just lost the pot to me, actually. So he limps in for 10 with a $200 stack.
Okay.
And then I'm like 2 positions to his left. So I'm like in middle position. I raced a 50 with pocket 5s.
Do you remember the suits, or it doesn't matter, or what?
I don't remember the suits, but the board was
a
rainbow board.
So EP limps off of a 200 stack. Hero and MP makes it 50 with pocket 5s. Interesting. You think there's a chance that the guy might just limp fold, I assume?
I think there's a very good chance he's going to limp fold. If he decides to put it all in, I don't care. I think I'm well ahead of what he's going to do with his range. He doesn't even have a range. He just like will limp anything, and then sometimes he'll call off, sometimes he'll fold. He's just one of these guys, you know.
All right, so you go 50 from MP.
So I go 50.
Yeah.
Like I said, I have no problem just getting in with this guy if he wants to. But the big blind now 3 bets to 200.
Okay.
And I have him covered, but we're 1800 effective. Maybe slightly more than 1800, like 1825 or something. But I'm right about there. And then it folds back to the fish, who calls all in for the 200. He had 195, but 200.
Right. By the way, Josh sent me a text. Sometimes we'll text back and forth with hands. He sent me this hand, which I found kind of interesting. So the big blind 3 bets to 200, which is like in the middle, right? Like 2-5-10, like in the middle blind. This dude, this fish calls all in. Limp calls all in for 200. So the pot now is like 450. It's 150 for you to call in position, starting with 1800. And I even think that this is pretty close. I mean, sure, you can. Here's why I actually think that this is a lot. This is much closer than I would say if it was just like you opened and then the guy in the big bet 3-bet you and you called. The reason why I even think this one's closer is because now that you have a third guy in there, even if somehow you get to showdown unimproved and beat the guy in the big blind with 5s, you have to beat the other guy for the main pot. Also, it's just like when you're dealing with side pots and main pots, the bluffing frequency just goes down if the side pot isn't really built up that much. So I don't like to get into situations really like in side pots where you have small pocket pairs and you got to start building a pot up, and an aware player would be like, why is this guy raising the flop here when he has to beat the other player? I just think it's close. Like it's 150 more. It's not a slam dunk call.
Right. Oh no, I agree.
Yeah.
I think if the guy in the big blind went, if he went to 250, I'd be folding.
Oh,
I think 200 is pretty much right. Yeah, you'll see throughout the hand. I feel like I got very lucky on a few different spots based on sizing and just like it being just enough, the sizing being just small enough for me to continue. And I think that also applies here on pre-flop.
So you do call?
I do call, yes. So we go to the flop at 600 in the pot.
600 in the main, okay.
And the flop comes ace, 6, 7 rainbow.
So ace of diamonds, 6 of hearts. Excuse me, ace of diamonds, 7 of hearts, 6 of clubs. Ace, 7, 6. The pot is 600.
600.
Uh-huh.
And so I'm pretty much like, all right, if this guy takes any sort of rail sizing, I'm just going to fold. I mean, I have some backdoors and stuff, but, he's not going to be bluffing into a dry side pot like we have just discussed.
Right.
However, he bets $100.
So this is where it gets interesting. So big blind bets 100. Now, I'll tell you what I said in the text thread here too. Even getting 7-1 here, right? Because it's 100 into 600, so it's 7. You're getting 7-1, which means you can just figure out your equity by dividing the call size by the total pot size. So it's 1/8. I know 1/8 is 12.5%, right? Even with your backdoor, and if it's three ways here, I don't think you have 12.5% here. Now that's now that's for with one card. I get that, like with one card to come. I'm talking about going from like street to street, but I actually think this is just a fold. Again, this is why I said with that other guy in the hand here too, because it has to lessen your equity. Like if you were in a situation where you opened the big blind 3-bet, you called. Then he like came and put like a 1-6 pot size bet in on the flop. Sure, you can call, right? With 5-5 with your back, you know what I mean? With your back door and stuff like that. But you have to overlay so many things happening here. Overall, the big blind would have to not have a hand. You'd have to have king, queen be like, bluffing into a dry side pot. The other guy has to have worse than you too. Literally, these guys are going to be like king, queen, and queen, jack. This almost like exemplifies why you're supposed to play so tight multi-way. Here, it's even an extreme because you know that the other guy's going to showdown. He has to because he's all in. So I actually think this is a fold on the flop.
Okay. I mean, I can get behind that.
Now, some people are saying that you have to call that. Well, again, this is the difference. You have to call that if you're heads up. Absolutely. Absolutely, you would. Yeah.
And like I was saying, just like pre-flop where I think it was really close with his sizing on the flop. If he bet 175, I would have just folded. I'm getting, with the 7-1, just 100. It's just enough for me to continue. I feel like with my backdoors, even with the second guy in the hand.
All right, so it's 800. So you call.
So I call. Yeah.
I mean, it's close. Listen, it's close. So the pot to 800. It's I'm gonna put main 600. And side is 200. Okay. Yep.
And the turn is now a 5, an offsuit 5.
Total rainbow.
Total rainbow.
All right. So 5 of spades, ace of diamonds, 7 of hearts, 6 of clubs, 5 of spades. Okay. Yep.
So now he is 800 in the pot, and he still takes a fairly small sizing now on a board like this. He bets 300.
This is really something. Because again, like it's like is this guy a reg here too?
He's not. Well, I mean, I don't know because, like I said, I haven't played in a couple months over there. But just watching him play, I felt like he was playing fairly well. So I don't know if he's a reg, but he seemed like he wasn't a bad player at all.
Well, see, these are the situations. Now there is no backdoor here, but this is kind of going back to what I was talking about. Where I don't really like to be in pots with protected pots with implied odds types of hands here, because now when you start wanting to put some money in the pot, if the guy is any type of player, he's going to look at this. I mean, it's not like you have built the side pot up that much. So if he's looking at this, like your bluffing frequency just goes so far down that you seem to not get the action that you want that is necessary to make these hands profitable to play them pre-flop. Now someone could make the argument, well, you should just like increase your bluffing frequency in side pots, but again, the pot is protected. So it's just like one of these spots where it's like, all right, well, I've got bottom side here. I'm losing the pocket aces. I don't think he's 3-betting me through a 6s or 7s necessarily out of the big blind or like 8-9 suited. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
I don't think he's 3-betting.
Right.
I think the main hand I'm worried about is
it's aces.
Top side.
Yeah. Right. It's having aces. But I mean, you're
and
not.
That's pretty much the only hand I'm worried about.
Right. But you're not really like that deep enough to really concern yourself with it. But again, the problem here is that like, if you raise like even a large amount, if I'm sitting there with ace king, now maybe it's exploitable, like, especially if I know you're a decent player, it's just one of these ones. Now you could make a play where you could have some hand that loses to ace king, but fares to have decent equity against the other guy. And you're going to try to like pick up the side pot. Cause right now the side pot's 500, but it's hard call for like ace king to make when you raise turn here with one guy all in the main pot. Now, with that being said, though, I kind of feel like I want to put some money in if I'm you, because there's so many action killing cards here in terms of one-liners. Like you've got a 3, a 4, an 8 or a 9, a 3, 4, 8 or 9. Not just that though, but if the guy's got ace king, like he's also going to be slowed down by like probably a queen or a jack here too. So that's a lot of cards that you don't see the bet, at the end. So I kind of feel like maybe you can just make it like, you started with 18, right? Maybe you just make it like 650 or 700 or something like
Just
that.
sort of click it back a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like that. I just, from the hand with him 3-betting out of the middle blind, if you 3-bet out of the small blind, I think I definitely would have put more money in on the turn. But the closer you get to the straddle, for me anyway, I see that it's stronger hands. Where if you're 3-betting out of the small blind, you can have a whole host of hands.
Right.
From my personal experience.
I always talk about that, right? Like, I mean, the person that's in the last blind has the option to call with medium strength hands so it's really kind of a strong, usually 3-bet. Here he's in the middle, but people kind of treat that a little bit differently than the small.
A little differently, especially with a raise to 50, and then like the guy in the straddle. I mean, he would have to really wake up with the hand, I think, to start squeezing. With the guy with no, because then if he raises, he's going to probably have to get in with the guy with 200, even though he's already limped in because there's all that extra money now.
So did you just call?
I ended up just calling, yes.
All right, so hero calls. So, and again, I'll just look at your stack sizes behind here too. So you put 600 on the turn. The pot now, it's 1,400. There is main is 600. And now the side is 800, right? The side is 800. So it's like sort of 1,400 total.
Yeah, 1,400 in the pot with 800 in the side pot.
And then you guys have 4. So you guys still have like 1,300 behind. I mean, that's the other thing. The other thing too is that I might
1,300 behind.
Yeah, I might start, like, if I was your opponent, I guess it really depends on the river. Like if I have ace king here, maybe I think you might have some ace queens or something like that. But God, your line even just calling through here is so strong. I wonder if the guy checks like any river and considers maybe check folding, which is why I wanted to get like a little bit more money in here on the turn. But anyways, it's 1,400. It's ace of diamonds, 7 of hearts, 6 of clubs. The turn's the 5 of spades here with pocket 5s. Okay, what's the river?
And now the river is the best card in the deck for me.
An ace?
Is an ace, yes.
Ace of... Oh, I guess it doesn't matter. Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It was a rainbow board.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to put ace of clubs. So ace of diamonds, 7 of hearts, 6 of clubs, 5 of spades, ace of clubs. And obviously the reason why Josh says it's the best card in the deck for him, I guess, is two-pronged. Number one, you think you're going to get probably the most amount of action from trip aces. And now you don't. Now all of a sudden, like, the one hand that beat you, like, goes down by 66, goes down by 2/3 in the combos, right? Now there's only one hand of quads.
Now there's only one hand. And like, I was thinking to myself, like, on the if the river was like a 2 or a 10 or, some blank, and he came out and bet a good amount, I'm almost certainly just going to call. Because if I raise, I don't think he's going to call off with one pair. And the only hand I'm going to get called by is top set.
I guess a 5 would have been better for you.
Some people a 5 would have been phenomenal too, yes.
Yes, a 5 would have been really, really good here too. All right, so ace 7, 6, 5, ace, 600 in the main, 800 in the side. And again, like if I'm your opponent and I'm a decent player and I have ace king, I'm not really all that. I mean, now I tend to think like now I will get even called down more often by a hand like, ace queen. The interesting part of this though is that if I have ace king and I don't think you're calling my 3-bet with offsuited aces, with the exception of also having ace king, now there's only like 3 combos of ace queen suited, 3 combos of ace jack suited that are even left. And there's still like 6 combos of sets of 7s and 6s. And apparently you have 5-5 here too. It's interesting. I mean, just from the big blind's perspective, if he has ace king, there's not that much ace X left in a tight configuration. If you're not like, are you calling with ace queen off pre here? I mean, you call with 5s.
Ace queen off, I would probably call. Yeah, I'm folding ace jack.
Well, obviously ace jack. I don't know. I might fold ace queen here too.
Yeah. I mean, it depends. I mean, it depends on how I was feeling. I forget if I was on my third or fourth drink of the night. So,
Did you have little nips?
no, I was just drinking beer the other night.
Okay.
So it wasn't that rowdy, but
all right. So what does this guy do? Does he bet or what?
Yes, he bets 600.
Oh, all right. So big blind.
Yeah.
Big blind bet 600. I mean, you guys only have what 13? You said left.
Yeah, he had like about 700 left.
So yeah, so you started with 13, right? The river. So you
The
obviously
river we started with about 13. Yeah.
obviously you jam, right? For it's like a min click, right?
Yeah, it was just over a min click back.
So hero jams for like 1300. And again, I don't know who this guy is, but I just don't really ever. I mean, for a min click, it's like I mean, you can put yourself in your opponent's spot against a good player and be like, wow, like I just bet 600 on the river with ace king and that guy jammed on me. Like, am I ever good here? But can he fold ace king here for a min click? It's interesting what his sizing here should be on the river. I mean, he goes 6 into 14. I don't know if I have ace king and I'm your opponent and you jam at me for like 1250 to 1300. So the pot's like 3,300, like 600 or 700 for me to call. Can you fold ace king? That seems pretty crazy.
It does, just because I think I would have played ace king off the exact same way. And so if I was in the villain's shoes and I was playing against me.
Wait a minute. Keaton Dupree and Adam Ukogsley are saying just call? Just call the river?
Okay.
I mean, I can't imagine that, but okay. Yeah, what were you saying? I'm sorry.
In some universe, I think I would call the river if we were like somehow like $10,000 deep.
Right, but this is where we come into like we have the CLP term, right? Like reverse pot odds, right? Like you can jam way lighter for value in a situation like this. Not that this is that light, just because your opponent's getting great pot odds. Like the shorter the effective stacks, the more you can actually make sort of last action raises on the river, because now all of a sudden like your opponent has to be calling wider because he's getting such great pot odds.
Yeah,
you know?
and yeah, right. And you know that, and when he bets 600 on the river, he's gonna have he almost certainly has a big ace, right? So
yeah, I mean, I expect you're just gonna get called here a lot here.
Yeah, and so yeah, I expected to be called too. I mean, I jam, and he goes, "Oof, I did not like that." And he started looking. He's like, "Do you have ace queen? Do you have ace queen?" And then, to his credit, he goes, "I bet so small on the flop. Did you turn a set of fives?"
Wow.
Yeah. He almost Negreanu to me, right?
Yeah.
And he tanks, and then finally he was like, "You know what? I'm gonna get to see your hand anyway," and he folded. Yeah.
And then what did he tell you what he had?
He flashed ace king.
He had ace king?
He had ace king.
Wow. So big blind has ace king. Now, obviously I knew that. I'm trying to be surprising. But I will say though, that doesn't mean just because he had ace king and he folded that the river's a call. Like before you texted me that hand, I would never, for the same reasons. Like I'm not probably folding ace king there, in that spot either. Interesting what he said though about that is like, so because he bet so small, did he turn a set of five? Does that mean that he assumes that you wouldn't have played a flop set this way? And how would you have played sevens or sixes? Would it have gone down the same way?
Right. I think in his mind, I would have played a flop set slightly different.
This is why, like I said, like these are weird. They're not, it's not great for implied odds hands. I think is what we can take away from this in like main inside like spots here. I assume you won versus the other guy. I hope.
Oh yes, yeah. The guy just kind of laughed. He's like, "Yeah, that beats me."
I mean, you only lose in I guess pocket 7, 6s and like ace 7 and ace 6.
Ace 7.
Yeah. Wow. So big blind has ace king and folds for a mid click.
For a min click back, pretty much.
Do you think it had something to do with the fact that he did see your hand? That he knew he was going to see your hand?
I bet you there's 5% of it in his mind, 10% in his mind was like, I get to see it, so I'm going to fold. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting hand.
Interesting.
All right, Josh, I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.